go.
You're ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Why did Southerners migrate to Payson? Southerners chose the Payson area because the land was fertile and well drained. Also, the Mississippi River was nearby, and that gave transportation to any goods that the settlers may have produced. What was the discord that happened when the Southerners tried to settle at Payson? The founder of Payson was Absalom, The founder of Payson was Ablagen Scarborough, a New Englander. Others who came were also from New England, and they wanted to establish a pleasing society of industrious and hardworking citizens. That meant other New Englanders. So when some Southerners tried to purchase lots in the new town of Payson, they were denied. J.C. Bernard, a former Kentuckian, and others decided to establish the town of West Union on the edge of Payson. It wasn't long till it was realized that two towns so close together could not prosper, and a compromise was reached. Scarborough offered his half of his lots that were unsold to Bernard, all except the ones that were around the village square. And then soon Bernard decided to drop the idea of a second town. What was the reason Southerners were excluded from Payson? Many settlers from the east thought that Southerners were easygoing, and they also tended to squat on land rather than to purchase the property and make improvements. Did this discord have a lasting effect on the community? No, the two factions soon joined hands and created a thriving community.
Joseph, did you have any other questions you wanted to ask?
Oh, good.
What about, in particular, were there any families, I know that, since you're from the Kay family, did you have any history that the Kays passed down to you about their movement into Payson, or why they ended up being at Payson and someplace else?
No, I really don't know why they chose Payson.
Did the Southerners tend to have, or the Westerners as they were called, I always call them Southerners, did they tend to start other churches other than the Congregational Church?
Yes, the Kays and the Bernards and several other families started the Baptist Church. And the first church was north of the village. I think it was in Burton Township. And then they built the Baptist church. I don't know the name of that street, but it's the large apartment building. The original church was across the road and is a home, but it looks like a little one-room school. That was the original Baptist church in Payson.
I know which one you're talking about. I'm a little confused about, since Ablagen Scarborough belonged to the Congregational Church, why did he, in his quote, always say that the Southerners or the Westerners were prejudiced against them, in particular Presbyterians? Do you know why he kept saying about Presbyterians? I didn't get the point of the Presbyterian part.
I don't know, and I know in Quincy, the church, let's see, I believe when the church was established in Quincy, it was Presbyterian, and then it split and became Congregational. So maybe he was thinking of the citizens of Quincy when he was talking about that, because to my knowledge there was never a Presbyterian church in the area.
He wasn't Presbyterian when he was in Connecticut.
I would assume not, but I don't know.
Because it didn't make any sense to me why all these years he kept talking about the Presbyterians when
No.
he wasn't Presbyterian.
That would be all I could think of, is because of the conflict in Quincy. There was some type of conflict.
Was there any, other than the mill, was there any other businesses around the square that I should say other than the Northerners had and the Southerners had? Did they split the businesses? I know it said that the Southerners weren't allowed to be around the square at any point in time? Do they ever get any businesses around the square, or are they mostly farmers, or?
Oh, Mr. Bernard had a store, but I believe it was in Quincy. Yeah, so I think he must have left Payson and moved into Quincy, and probably he thought that was more prosperous.
And do you live still on the original farm? The
No.
homestead?
No. Mm-mm.
When we were talking about, let's see, I'm trying to think of some of the girls left or weren't here because they had something to do. There was a question they had, they wanted to ask about, oh, do you know how long Albridge Scarborough lived in his, he always made a big deal about living in the log cabins. How long he lived in his log cabin before he built his house?
No, I really don't. No.
And then, of course, he was the person who started the Congregational Church and helped build it as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So we won't have to worry about any other churches, just that one. Okay, the part we needed was the part about where you said starting the West Union, our West Union. That's what we needed for our clips. So
Okay.
we're good.
You're good? Okay.
We are. Thank you so much.
Oh, you are very welcome.